Mr. Nunn.
I want to thank Mr. Rizzo for those comments. That was a class act, so thank you. And I'm going to miss Dan and Louise. I suspect maybe we haven't heard the last of Louise. I'm hoping not, at least. Dan will be moving on to South Carolina eventually. They're gaining our loss. But I look forward to working with Ms. Wilson, who's here, Mr. Armides, who's here. You know, when you have new people, everyone has new ideas that they can bring to the table. And so hopefully the sausage that gets made next year and the years thereafter will taste as good as the sausage that's been made while Dan's been here for 9 years. Thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Mr. Mankey.
Thank you, sir. I echo all of Matt's comments and thoughts. I've been on the board with Dan for 7 years now, and you know, we'll truly miss him. And he's going down to South Carolina with the Gamecocks of the most important situation that exists out there. That's the University of South Carolina. And we'll miss you very, very much, Dan. And Louise, all my best to you. As Matt said, look forward to seeing you involved in the township in the future. And we thank you very much for your service. There's a bill coming out from the legislature in New Jersey that is going to increase the penalties for texting while driving. And we'll have more for that for you in the January meeting. So, Jeff, thank you very much.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Johnson.
Again, that was very kind of you to come out, Jeff. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mayor Sisler, for this beautiful tribute. I did not expect this at all. So it's called to the mic, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, I better save my comments for last. But I did want to congratulate Bill Folsch, who has just had his first new granddaughter, Nora Lynn. She's really cute, so I'm very happy for you. And I'm very grateful to all of you on the dais for your guidance and mentoring these past 3 years. I've ascended a steep learning curve, and you all helped me with that. And I think not only myself, but all of us owe a debt of gratitude to Tim Quinn, and John Mills, and Kathy Emilio, who are the ones who really do the heavy lifting in this town, often behind the scenes, to make things turn out right for all of us. And at this juncture, my life feels kind of like a chessboard. There's a lot of potential moves on it. And I'm considering moves that, you know, bearing in mind implications for myself and my family and for Morris Township, and maybe for even some of you in this room. I've applied to a number of boards and committees as a way to use what I've learned to continue to serve the township. And I personally feel very blessed to have the freedom and the fortunate circumstances to allow me to choose what I actually do next. I retired from corporate life, and I may jump back in a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I wish Kathy and John the best of luck in their new roles. And if there's ever a piece of advice that bears heeding, it is to listen very carefully to Tim Quinn and John Mills. When they present you with decisions or options, you can be sure that the homework is always done and the possible consequences have been analyzed from every angle. I've always considered my role on the Township Committee as one of supporting Tim and all the excellent township employees reporting to him. They know what they are doing, and often the best course of action is just to stay out of their way and let them do it. You will know when it's time to take action or make a decision. And good luck to Dan, who's my running mate from a few years ago, to move on to a new phase in your life, and to Bruce and Matt as they contemplate next year's campaign. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Mayor Caffrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I want to just take a few moments just to kind of reflect over my last 9 years of serving on a committee and some of my experiences and what I've learned and whatnot, and also serving as mayor. So when I first took the oath of office back in January of 2009, my 3 kids were 13, 11, and 9, all very involved in the community, sports, recreation. Today, my oldest daughter He's graduated from college and is a third grade special ed teacher down in Delray Beach, Florida. It's good to be her. My middle son is a junior at Boston College, and my youngest is a senior in high school, right now contemplating where he's going to attend college next year. And I'm also entering the next phase of well as in my career, as my wife and I will be heading south, taking on the southeast region for my company. Morris Township has truly been a special place. All three of my children were born here and grew up in this community. It's all they know. I got involved because I do care, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. All that said, I've spent some time reflecting on some of the accomplishments, not only I, but this board. Everybody I've been involved with, and I'm going to include, and I want to thank Mr. Grazel for coming out tonight with the kind words. This board has been involved in a lot of accomplishments, but I tried to take a look at, so some I don't put all to sleep. Some of what I would say the top ones were. In 9 years, Morris Township has had an overall tax increase on average of just under 2% a year. By the way, that number includes, in 2010, a 7% increase during the time of the financial crisis, where Morris Township lost all of its state aid. If you throw out that outlier, it's an average of less than 1% per year, where inflation is well averaged more than that. And that, by the way, includes paying for just about completely $7 million in corporate tax appeals during that time frame, also during the financial crisis. The refurbishing of our 2 township pools, and thank you to Mr. Fulch back there, who took the lead on that. Increased membership has been up. We set goals on increasing that membership, and we've hit and surpassed them. They're a community staple here in Morris Township. That accounts for summers that families will always remember. Our new trash and recycling collection. Mr. Grazel has mentioned that. A lot of folks were involved in that. I know it came, I think Mr. Grazel was on the committee. I'm not sure, Mr. Mancuso, if you were, but I was down in North Carolina on vacation, and I saw one of those things picking up, and I sent back a video to Scott Rosenbush at that time. I said, and to Bruce, I'm like, check this out. So years later, here we are. We've been able to do it during a time when we would have had to replace that equipment anyways. So the savings that we've achieved in workers' comp and from a headcount point of view has far outweighed the initial cost of putting that into place. Core 9 Field. Core 9 Field has been, for 9 years, I've been working on trying to find and locate, as well as this board, a place for a sports complex. We settled on Core 9 Field, we were ready to go, we started drilling, and lo and behold, we hit that thing. So that became a nightmare, years, DEP, extravaganza, is the only way I can put it. And again, thanks to Mr. Quinn, and thanks to Mr. Fulch, who countless times down in Trenton, working with DEP to get that solved. We're here, it's solved, we passed a resolution tonight to award the contract, and early in 2018, that's going to break ground, and I am certainly looking forward to coming back to some Friday night lights here, that's for sure. Shared service wins, including county dispatch, airport system, library, and many others. The open space purchase of Valley View in our community garden, and as such protecting the vista, history, and the Washington Valley overlook from Picatinny Road. Achieving, and I look at this as one of the most important, achieving and maintaining our AAA bond rating. That, through fiscal responsibility, recognized by agencies like Moody's and Standard & Poor's, has allowed us to save countless thousands of dollars in bond interest to you taxpayers. And then last but not least, I truly take a lot of pride in the Honeywell redevelopment. The mixed-use redevelopment of Honeywell corporate complex will account for not only high-end corporate buildings as well as high-end townhomes. It will account for a significant influx of revenue into the township over the years. So I have to say, as I look back, there have been a lot of fun times, and there have been a lot of contentious debates. I think Mr. Grazel mentioned that as well, too. We We had a lot of great times, but we also debated on a lot of issues. Everything that I always wanted to do for Morris Township really came from speaking to and knowing, knocking on doors, a lot of people, many of them with Louise Johnson, the doors of thousands of people, seeing them on baseball fields, soccer fields, at the town pool, knocking on doors, just around town. And I tried to take into account what the constituents of all the residents that I represented were looking for whenever I made a decision for the township. So I'm going to miss all of you up here. And I want to extend my thanks, and kind of in this order. Mrs. Emilio first, for teaching me the ropes when I first joined the committee. She grabbed me by the ear, and she told me where to go, where not to go, and she had my ear like this and pulled me along. Mr. Mills, for always being my voice of reason on a number of occasions.
It didn't always take.
Almost always. Mr. Mancuso, finance guru on the finance committee and very good friend. Thank you. Mr. Nunn, the new guy on the block, and being a great legal mind. You really helped this committee, and you're a great friend. Thank you. Mrs. Johnson, great friend, great campaign partner. We knocked on a lot of doors together. We have a lot of great stories.
Some of which will not be
Yes.
repeated.
All of which will not be repeated. My good friend, Mr. Mayor, Bruce Sisler, you're a great friend, a great political sounding board. We've had many a conversation, and it's been great. Lastly, Mr. Quinn, who bar none is the best administrator that any town could ever wish for, and a great friend. I also want to thank the department heads. Mr. Falsh here tonight. All the department heads that I've had the ability and the interaction to work with over the last 9 years has been truly an honor. And as you probably all know, we're not up here doing it for the money. There really isn't any. We're not doing it for that. We're doing it because I did it because I can. I wanted to be involved. My kids were involved, and I really cared about the community. So, and lastly, I'd like to thank my family, who supported my commitment to the committee and the time it certainly took away from them. So, with that said, I talked about a lot what I'm going to miss. So I have my top 10 list of what I'm not going to miss. All right?
John Mills, step in.
And by the way, everyone is on the table here. All right? Number 10, Mr. Quinn for his long, drawn-out budget sessions. Number 9, and I hear a lot of groans right now, Citizens for Better Planning. Number 8, not having to hear about Peter 2 again. Number 7, vocabulary words from Peter that nobody's ever heard of. Number 6, hearing from certain residents who come to the microphone to question what they really don't care about, other than to just grandstand. Mrs. Emilio bugging me hourly to get my state financial disclosure form that I'm always late with. Number 4, not having to get a late night call from Bruce any longer. Number 3, residents not believing me that Mr. Mills is actually Dr. Mills. Number 2, getting return calls from Mr. Dunn, because I never get them.
John's my voice of reason.
And number 1, for saying that my laugh drowns out the audio, for Mrs. Wilson saying my laugh drowns out the audio on the video cable program that nobody watches. Ha 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 ha! I want to thank you all. Have a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and a very happy New Year, and thank you for everything.
Thank you. Let me Let me just say that it's been an honor to work with both of you. It's a very interesting position that you're here, and you have 5 different people with 5 different backgrounds, with 5 different sets of families and values, and coming from the legal, from the finance, from the corporate background, and learning from the both of you has been tremendous. 3 years and 8 years for me with you, Dan. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. I wanted to congratulate John and Kathy. We look forward to working with you coming up. John, we missed you in closed session tonight, but it was good to have Kathy in to get her head spinning with all that we have to do. Wanted to congratulate Steve Sims, who has been appointed tonight as a firefighter, Class 1, at the request of Chief Carr. I also wanted to say thank you to the Morris Township OEM and the FMBA. The rose sale is coming up. We approved that, as Patty said. To reiterate, Monday, February the 12th will be the first day from 12 to 7. Tuesday, February 13th from 8 to 8. Wednesday, February 14th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we will be taking pre-orders. We will put that out on the Municipal Messenger, and it was mentioned on Facebook Live tonight as well. Also, I wanted to thank our township employees who for the 5th year in a row have collected toys and coats and clothing. They were able to provide 10 families Christmas presents in the DIFUS program. So a huge thank you to them, 5th year running, and they're phenomenal. Thank you, Mr. Quinn, and everyone in the health department.
And all of you guys too.
Thank you.
Checking in. So.
And finally, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, Dan. And, thank you.